I want to say, and I know this is random, it has nothing to do with any of the subjects we're talking about. But me and Dee Dee have been watching The Cosby Show. We've been watching a lot of it as of late. Claire Huxtable, the character, was for the streets. What? She was for the streets.
Huh?
What? Are y'all shocked that I said that?
Yeah.
Y'all. Because I'm gonna tell you why she was for the streets. Japrice, I saw you clapping.
Explain.
I saw you clapping, Japrice. Do you agree with that?
She better not.
So she.
I do. I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised that you said that, because my mentor and I speak about it all the time. I really want to hear what you have to say first before I say anything. But I don't believe that it was for the streets. I think I'm thinking something totally different. But yeah, I am not in favor for the Cosby Show and for Claire Huxtable. Yeah, no.
Okay, I like the Cosby Show overall as entertainment, but Dee Dee made me see things that I wouldn't have seen, because all my life I've always heard that Claire Huxtable is this, she's that, she's smart, she's a lawyer, she's mom, blah, 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 blah. Now, as we started to go into watching The Cosby Show, I've noticed some things that were extremely out of pocket that Claire Huxtable done. Not once, but on several occasions. On one episode, I think it was Cliff's teacher, mentor, something like that. She literally kissed him in the kitchen, and then looked at Cliff and said, "Watch this." And she kissed him. And when I saw that, my mouth dropped. Because what type of man would let his wife, another man, kiss his wife? And she not only did that once, she's done that a couple times throughout the show. I had some receipts on my page from a long time ago. But I'm going to find them and I'm going to show y'all. Claire Huxtable, the character, not Felicia Rashad, because I think Felicia Rashad, the person, is a writer. But Claire Huxtable, the character, was for the streets. Now, on a different world, on a different world, she went on a date with some man. Hey, I'm gonna need her to help me with that. But she went on a date with this brother. The candles was lit. Oh, it was a dark room, and I said, "Hold up,
what's going on?"
No, you don't do this. Not no married woman. She's for the streets. Woo. Claire Huxtable, very condescending, very controlling.
Yep.
She would talk to Cliff like he was nothing at times. And she stated several times how she settled for Cliff.
Yep.
For the streets. She's definitely for the streets. She would state that, well, you know, I didn't really care for your father like that. He wasn't that attractive. She would say this to her children.
Okay, I remember that.
Now, some of y'all may put that in the realm of being funny and playing. No, you don't. To me, you don't say stuff like that to your children.
Nope.
She talking about Cliff begged to be with me for the street.
Remember, she said this whole government. She called him Heathcliff.
Heathcliff begged to be with me for the streets. Every man on that show was darn near game goofy when it came to chicks.
Yep.
Theo was a bumbling idiot.
Yep.
When it came to chick, we watched an episode today where this fool was doing an acting scene with some chick and they were kissing, where his woman was literally right down like 20 feet away. Like the writing for these characters, the only real dude on that show for a while, but they eventually simped him out too, was Kenny. Kenny was the only real dude on that show for a while because he would cut into Rudy, telling her about what his big brother said. Now, I got to get y'all thoughts on what I just laid down. I saw Kris. She was looking at me crazy. Go ahead, Kris. What you got to say about that?
I was looking at you.
Huh?
I didn't know. I haven't watched that show since I was young, and I literally haven't watched it since. Once you said, oh my goodness, see, what bothered me, I was looking crazy, but I wasn't looking at you crazy. I was in shock. What bothered me about what you said is the fact that you said that she said in the show that she did not need him. She doesn't need Bill? Cliff. Like, what's so funny? Okay, this is where I struggle with women in submission. The way that you should first know that you should submit to your husband is the fact that at the minute someone breaks into your house, who are you going to look at to go check it out? But you don't want to submit to your husband. You want to say you don't need him. The minute something happens, who do you look at? That should be the first question you ask. And it's so ridiculous to me that women do this. This man, wasn't he a doctor in this show?
Yeah, he was a doctor and she was a lawyer. I'm gonna show y'all the receipts.
He was an OBGYN. Yep.
Like, the issue with these women is that they're so ungrateful. They're not appreciative. And they have these standards that are absolutely ridiculous. When everything hits the fan, who do you look at? I don't care what you are. You're a lawyer. Who cares? Who cares? When something happens, you don't go with the bat to the front door. You expect him to go. You expect him to catch a bullet, not just for you, but for all your kids.
Right.
Like, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So that's what caught me. It's the fact that she for real said that she didn't need him. And they wonder, and then Black women have the nerve to sit here and say, oh, well, it's not us. It's the men. It's not our mentality. The men have to change. It's that type of mentality. This I don't need you mentality, but yet you have to do everything for me. You have to be my stepdaddy. And all this is just ridiculous. There's no gratitude anymore. There's no gratitude.
Oh, I felt the F word coming. Oh, I felt it coming. Lord, I
thought she was saying that too.
I definitely got to speak to this. Listen.
Go ahead, Hall of Fame. We're gonna go in order.
Wow, Kris hit right on the head. And see, it goes deep into just the wives in the family. It's the women in the family, period, sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, the little sisters or the big sisters or the cousins. Y'all don't want to listen to nothing that the man got to say. But as soon as Bobby, your boyfriend, want to go upside your head, or you want to blow up their phone. You want to blow up his phone, wake him up. I always tell the story. They woke me up out of my sleep on the summertime. I was chilling in Central Air. You know what I mean? You know, the summertime, it'd be super hot outside. I had Central Air blowing. A brother was chilling, knocked out. They wake me up out of my sleep to go help somebody, and they get mad at me. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. It's so crazy. But to speak to Claire Huxtable, oh man, she's so controlling. She's really a witch. I don't like that woman at all. I want to use the other word, but I don't want to get CJ flagged.
No, we ain't gonna do that. So we ain't gonna call her that. But yeah.
But that's what she is though. So you know what I'm saying? But her character on there was just terrible. I remember the one episode where she kept making him go outside in the rain. She kept making him go. And he kept going like a fool. He kept going. Yeah. Listen, look, it's raining outside. Look, you better either find delivery, or if I'm going one time. You forget something, well, it's gonna be forgotten.
On Thanksgiving.
Yeah. We eating when I come back, and it better be done.
M3. Claire Huxtable for the streets.
What a fall to be, man. Shoot.
For the streets. We're gonna talk about that next week. I'm gonna have the receipts next week. I'm dedicating a show to Claire Huxtable about how she was for the streets. I'm dedicating a portion of the show. Half the show gonna be dedicated. I'm gonna show y'all receipts. I'm gonna have to probably take it down because it's gonna be clips from them. They probably gonna be up on it. But next week, ladies and gentlemen, tune in. CJ is coming with the receipts. The show is half the show gonna be titled Claire Huxtable was for the streets. Who was next? Go ahead, M3.
Man, now I wish I could see the Cosby episodes, but they already, they've been took that down. But man, no, I was shocked because I was kind of blinded too with the whole Claire Huxtable being the best TV wife type of hype. So I just kind of played into that. But you guys are kind of reminding me about certain things that I hella did not really take notice of. I mean, when you're a kid watching the show, you ain't gonna take notice to all that. You just oh yeah, it's funny or whatever. But yeah, Cliff was a sim big time. you know. And shit, I didn't even think that Claire was really like running the relationship a little bit, you know, or doing all kinds of stuff.
He couldn't even eat a sandwich without her say so.
At all.
He would go to eat a hoagie, she would take it from him. You can't eat that.
Like a child.
Mm-hmm. Heated chips in the fireplace.
I would have been like,
go on, CJ, let him know. Let him know what it is.
No, I ain't gonna do that.
No, go ahead.
No, and again, we're not talking about Felicia Rashad, the actress.
I love Felicia Rashad.
Felicia Rashad, the actress, is a writer. I love Felicia Rashad, the actress. But Claire Huxtable, the character, is for the streets. King Gene, how you feeling about that?
Well, I guess now that I'm hearing everything that was said, man, you know, I remember one instance that really, really proves what you say. I remember there was an episode with Elvin and Sandra, I'm sorry. And he, Elvin was sitting in the living room with Cliff talking, and then he asked what's her name? Claire. He asked Claire. He said, Claire, you know, do you serve your husband coffee? And she went off. He serves me, I serve him, and she went on this whole long rant. And then she, at the end of the rant, she said, "And you better get your mind right, because if you don't get your mind right, ain't nobody gonna be serving you nothing." I said, "Wow, okay then." But now her attitude in that particular episode speaks to the attitude that you see a lot of women have today. That's very same attitude. You know, you
Y'all
might not.
next week. Tune in next. I'm gonna have all the receipts. I'm gonna have them all.
Because it was like it's like, and you know what? And I know this is probably gonna make a few people angry, but I think I could be wrong. I believe she was the original modern woman.
The future modern woman.
Yes.
Kevin Samuels better not steal this from me. He better not steal it. Don't steal from me. Ooh, next week's show. Next week's show gonna be called Claire Huxtable, the original modern woman. Lord have mercy. Okay. Okay.
But she didn't need Cliff. She said that
all the time.
She was a lawyer. She had her own practice. And when she went to do things, she didn't have to confer with him. She had her own money. She had, you know, she could do what she wanted. He was there for companionship only.
Well, there's like at least like an episode where she actually displayed like a need for him.
Nope.
I mean, they would be all lovey-dovey and something, like, you know, they would try to balance it. So I will say that. But just like the comment, she went on a date. She went on a date with a guy who liked her in college. And I'm like, before Dee ruined this show for me, I'm just like, wow. I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow. Claire Huxtable was extremely disrespectful and for the street. She was. Now, I know a lot of black folks, if this go viral or if they see this a couple years from now, blown up, a lot of black folks gonna be mad at me. But what I ask you to do, black folks, because I know, well, y'all mad at Cosby right now anyway. But a lot of black folks gonna be mad at me for going at Claire the character. I just ask you to go back and watch the footage. Go back and watch the footage. You know, pudding pop. Japrice.
Yeah.
Let's hear it. What you got to say?
So I wouldn't go as far to me for the streets, but I remember speaking to my mentor about this in 2018, and people like ate us up all on Facebook. But it gave women this like false sense of reality, like you can have it all. And that's where it kind of starts. Like, you can be a lawyer, you can have this doctor husband, you can have all the kids, white picket fence, big house, you know. Like, I believe that was it the Huxtable? Cosby Huxtable, is that his name? He was a masculine man, but however, he was always made to be the villain. Nobody liked him. You know, Claire Huxtable didn't like him. The children made him to be the bad guy all the time, and he always lost at the end of the show. However, they didn't make it seem like he won because they were all hugging and kissing at the end. Yeah. But it was always what Claire wanted. She had him literally wrapped around her finger.
Mhm.
You know, it always made him seem like he was a bad guy when he was, you know, the doctor, and he was, you know, taking care of doing things a masculine way. And Theo wasn't, he was being groomed to not be a masculine man either. Besides Rui, little friend, boyfriend, who came to her and told her exactly what her brother said. But yeah, it just gave women this false sense of you can just have it all. And a lot of women do make that comparison. What about Claire Huxtable? I just want Claire, you know, I want something like the Cosby Show and blah blah blah. And I always say, well, the Cosby Show isn't on air anymore. So now what? Who do you have to compare yourself with now? But yeah, it just gave women this false sense of hope. And Bill Cosby always was like made to be this villain, this bad guy. You know, he was never right. You know, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Y'all tune in next week. We're going to talk about sitcom dads, but more so importantly, we're going to talk about Claire Huxtable being the original modern woman. Lord have mercy. Yeah, she was for the streets, if you ask me. If you look, I know Claire Huxtable had a side dude. I know she had a dude on the side.
Most definitely.
If she went out to dinner with a dude she liked in college and told Cliff, hey, she said, Cliff, I'm going. And there's nothing you can do about it. I would have been like, you going where? With who? Dog.
You can go, but you can't come back.
CKQ, are you familiar with the Cosby Show? Did you watch it growing up?
That's a good question. Because I was just gonna tell you I've never watched it before. I've never seen the Cosby Show.
It's a funny show. It's entertaining. It was on Prime. They just took it off. But
is it on Netflix?
No, it's not on Netflix. They just took it. I don't know why they took it off. Maybe they'll have it back up. But
well, because of the Bill Cosby.